WICR.
And welcome back to the Iona Athletic Spotlight interview. I'm your host, Ian Sachs, and today I am joined by none other than track and field graduate student Rosie Clarke. Rosie, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Ian. Thank you very much for having me.
And Rosie, you have had so much success over the last few weeks. You've broken the school record for the mile 3 times. What has been your key to success over the last few races?
The past month has been, pretty special. I've broken the Iona record 3 times, like you said, which was, it's amazing, really. Very proud of it. Key to success, probably the environment that I'm in here at the college is fantastic with all the coaching staff and the team. And just consistency, consistently trying to perform as well as I can and do whatever I can to succeed.
Now, Rosie, your most recent record-setting performance came this past weekend at the Melrose game. You ran the mile in 4 minutes, 31 seconds, and 78 tenths, which was almost 4 seconds better than your previous time 2 weeks earlier. What did you feel on over this weekend? When you were running, did you even know that you were setting the record again?
The weekend was extremely special. The Melrose Games is a phenomenal event that's put on in the city here every year. And I was so lucky to be able to get into that mile race. It had some of the top I was the only international athlete there. Everyone else was American. They were incredibly talented. As regards to my time, the race was extremely fast. The lady Shannon Mowbray who won was trying to run the American record, so they were running very, very fast, and I was just clinging on as long as I could, which I managed to do, and I'm really pleased with the time that I set. 4 seconds, like you say, near enough, quicker than I went in Boston, which I was already very pleased with, so it hurt a lot, but I'm very pleased that I managed to do it.
Now, you mentioned it hurt a lot. Has the soreness subsided any?
Yeah, I'm touch wood. It's gone very quickly. I was back on the track yesterday morning doing a big session at the Armory, and that seems to have gone well ahead of the MAC Championships this Saturday. So fingers crossed for those. Now,
your record-setting performance at the Melrose Games this past weekend was the 3rd fastest time for the mile in the NCAA this season. What does that say about how far you've come, that now you're not only setting Iona records, you're right up there at the top of the country for the whole season?
Well, the NCAA it's incredible. It's such a prestigious championship, and to be coming in ranked 3rd at the moment is not something that I really envisaged when I came to Iona last summer, but I'm so pleased and over the moon that everything's coming together as well as it is. Hopefully it'll carry on to the outdoor season, and I can't wait to be competing against those other girls in Arkansas next month.
Now, you mentioned, coming to Iona last summer. You previously went to the University of Bath. And how much of a transition has it been coming to the United States and joining the Iona team from being in England and competing with the University of Bath?
The whole training setup here is just so much more structured, and everything is made to make my training as easy to complete as possible. Whereas at the University of Bath, it's a very it's a great school. It's very prestigious academically, but I was having to run between classes and stuff like that. Whereas here, the coaches facilitate everything. They make sure that everything's as smooth as possible. And being a grad student helps, because obviously I have a lot of free time in the daytime. I love being here at Iona. It's really making a big difference with my running. So.
Now, you're a graduate student. So what you're taking classes, right?
Yeah, I'm studying for my MBA in management, which I'll be completing in the summer this year.
Wow, and then what's after that?
I'm actually headed back to the UK, so I'm only here for 1 year, so I'm just trying to make the most of everything whilst I'm at Iona, and then I'll be back in the reign of the United Kingdom.
Now, another Brit on the cross country and track and fields team is Kate Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how great has it been, having two people from England on the team together? You can, commiserate and really bond.
Yeah.
Have you had a special relationship with Kate so far?
Oh yeah, I mean, Kate's a fantastic friend of mine. We live together, we run together. We don't do as many training sessions together as we'd like to, just because we race different distances, but we get on so well. I mean, as most people are probably aware, the track and field team is pretty international anyway. And then the likes of Melissa Horton and Tara Jameson, who are both English and Irish respectively, are very, very close friends of mine. So it makes a big difference, and it's made the transition coming over here probably a lot easier than it would have been at another school. So.
Kate, we have to mention.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
That pretty much sums it up. But Kate also had a record-breaking performance at the Melrose Games, lowering the school record in the 3,000-meter event. And then, of course, it's been all over her national championship in cross-country. Just talk about the type of runner that Kate is.
Kate is an extremely dedicated individual. Obviously, she's very, very talented, but she works extremely hard. I've never met anyone that's quite so set on their goals and is willing to work to achieve them. She's very obviously she's a great friend, but I have a lot of respect for Kate as an athlete as well.
And you two finished the top two runners at the and also at the cross country MAC championships in the last fall. Now, as you move ahead to the indoor track and field MAC championships coming up this weekend, this Saturday, what can you take away from your performances in cross country and over the last month in indoor track and field to help you prepare to compete for another MAC championship?
I think the team, it's I learned so much in cross country about the whole aspect of the team and how hard each of those girls and the guys on their side are working in order to achieve for the whole collective of Iona. And I think that will show a lot at the MAC championships on Saturday. For instance, I'm competing in the 800 instead of the mile, and Kate's doing the mile instead of the 3K or the 5K. So, but we know that all these other girls are gonna race really well, and then the whole team will do well as a result of it.
And you mentioned that in cross country you learned about the concept of a team. The cross country team, the women finishing 9th at the NCAA championships, the highest finish for the women's cross country team in program history. What does that speak to the coaching and the runners that you guys are moving right up along and progressing?
I mean, the winter was... I only arrived in August, but we'd seen how the women's team had been trying to break through for quite a few years. And then I got here and everyone's like, oh, we might do it. And then as the season was progressing, it was like, no, we can do this. We can. And then, regionals was probably the standout day for me personally. I'm probably excluding Kate, obviously, because she won nationals. The other girls on the team, we won regionals, which was not expected at all. We came top in the northeast of the whole country. And it was a great day for everyone. And then to have the opportunity to go to nationals was just incredible. It was something I kind of never really expected to happen for cross country. It's not my speciality at all. And to be a part of it was really something special. Coming in 9th was very much unexpected. And I think the girls, excluding Kate, won't mind me saying we didn't actually believe it when the results went up, because the rest of us didn't have a particularly great day. But it was so much fun despite the actual running, and yeah, I wish I could do it again.
Ian Sachs joined here on the Iona Athletic Spotlight by track and field and cross country star Rosie Clarke. Rosie, well, you did do it, and you said you didn't think you did that well in nationals. Well, you were the second top Iona finisher, finishing 60th out of a field that encompassed 253 runners. So I'd take that just about any day. Now, Kate, of course, Kate Avery having the national championship winning day there, but your team as you prepare for the MAC championship, and you guys last year in the indoor season finished 4th out of 8, what can you take from the from the cross country MAC championship and the cross country finishing 9th at nationals? And even though you didn't believe you could do it, but you ended up doing it, what can you take from that and saying that you guys can go for another MAC championship this weekend?
I think especially the MAC championship from cross country, it just gives all of us a lot of confidence. I mean, those other teams out there in the MAC, they're very aware of how prestigious Iona is as a distance school, and even the girls that didn't race at the MAC cross country championships are going out there with their singlet on, and they're feeling ready to represent the college. And people are intimidated of the maroon and gold when it comes to the track. So I mean, it's going to be good fun on Saturday. I'm looking forward to racing. I know the others are as well. Particularly, I'm running in the distance medley relay, which is, I've never done one before, but it sounds really good fun. You've got myself and Kate running in that. So hopefully that should be a pretty good team with Danica Jensen and Marlene DeLises making up the other 2 points.
And Rosie, you guys have, not only have you been competing for MAC championships and of course national championships, but then also you qualified for the ECAC championship with your qualifying time, and the first time that you set the mile race back in January, the Metro Team Challenge. And just tell our audience a little bit about what the ECAC stacks up. That they probably know about the MAC, that's our conference, but what is the difference between the ECAC and, say, the MAC and regionals and nationals?
So the MAC championship for us is an opportunity to really come together as a team, which you don't have that often as runners, especially on the track. But everyone's sort of rooting for each other and wanting the whole team to do as well as possible, which is always true. But obviously when you're racing each other outside of a championship like that, you don't have that kind of relationship. ECAC's is somewhat different in that, like you said, you have to achieve a qualification standard. And I know a lot of the team are really trying to run them. Like this time at the MAC, there's going to be a few people trying to get the time for ECACs and IC4As for the guys team. I think it's a great opportunity to run at ECACs because it gives people another level of competition, and it's just that much more prestigious, and you're guaranteed that people are going to be running faster times there, whereas at the MAC it can be a bit more tactical and things like that. Then obviously there's no regionals for the indoor track and field, but for the national championships, that's like similar to ECACs but a whole new level. Qualification for nationals, you have to run within the top 16 times in your respective event in the country. So hopefully I'm safe being third at the moment, but you never know, some people might decide to run really fast. So yeah, that is 2 rounds and that'll be very tough, but we'll see.
So now with all these championship competitions and events coming up, you got the MAC, the ECAC, and then of course the big one, the national championships coming up later in March. What is going to be the key to success for both yourself and the team?
I think the key to success is, as I mentioned in my first part of the interview, is just consistency. I mean, we race near enough every weekend at the moment. Like you said, it's a pretty full-on racing schedule. But I think as long as you can recover quickly and then get back on the track on your Monday or your Tuesday and put the work in, you can still go back out and race hard on the weekend and try to perform as well as you did again. So the whole team, it's a hard grind. You have to just keep going and keep going and keep going. But it does pay off. And when you win or when you succeed, there's nothing better than that. Like, the weekend was very special for me, and the others will have that as well. So.
Now, Rosie, looking ahead past the indoor track and field season, you've got outdoors coming up.
Yep. It's constant.
And you've constantly been going cross country, then indoor, and then outdoors coming up. What is the difference between running those 3 different styles, and how is the preparation different?
Well, may as well start with cross country, as that's where, as the year falls. The cross country is a lot of hard, long, cold work outside. We're at Van Cortlandt Park twice, sometimes 3 times a week, just slogging out hard miles and really tough sessions. I find the cross country the hardest thing to train for, like mentally, and to race as well. But I think it's very, very important. And the cross country then leads into the other seasons as it builds so much strength in your legs, even if you're then coming down distance wise like I do. That get a little break actually after cross country. I think I got a week off maybe, so that was nice. Indoor track, you're on the funny little 200-meter track, which I actually love. I'm not particularly tall for anyone that knows what I look like, and that seems to suit the indoor track quite well. Some of the taller athletes struggle a bit on there. Indoors, you know exactly what the conditions are going to be. I've never done quite such a full-on indoor season before in my life. It's always been, I always compete at the British Championships and maybe do one other race and that's it. But yeah, so this is a whole new experience and I'm loving it. I think I get a week off after this maybe, or a week without sessions, which will be lovely. And then it's on to the outdoor season, which I'm so excited about. Outdoors is like, yeah, it's my love. And I think for most track athletes, that's where the main focus is. The 1500 it will be my event there because you don't run the mile outside. And it's on the 400-meter track. We get to go to some sunny places like California and things, and yeah, it should be good fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, you mentioned how after the outdoor season, you'll be heading back to Europe and England. Now, what do you see yourself doing after you go back across the Atlantic?
Well, I'm going to be basing myself at Loughborough University, which is the top sports place in the UK, which should be good, hopefully. And I'm planning on linking up with as many good athletes as I can there and training with them. It should be fun. It's going to be very different from Iona because I'll probably be having to be a bit more independent and what have you. But I feel like I've learned so much from my time here that I can then apply that when I go back. So that'll be good.
Well, Rosie, we wish you the best of luck both in the upcoming MAC Championships, Nationals a little down the line, the outdoor track and field season, and then, of course, after you finish up here at Iona and win all your future endeavors. Rosie, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have. And again, good luck. The MAC Championships coming up this Saturday.
Thank you very much.
This is WICR.